Appreciate that. We're going to try to move along very quickly. We know that a lot of you had things to do today and been very busy, and we'll try not to keep you too long tonight. I might like to say that when they called me to do this, they said they were looking for someone smart, someone good looking, and someone impartial. Well, 1 out of 3 is not bad. We trust everyone did have plenty to eat. We noticed that some had more than others, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. We're going to hear tonight from candidates from some of our state offices, of course our county offices, and what they're going to offer us as the voters of Lincoln County. But first tonight, we have a special presentation, and I'll call Commissioner Tommy Holcomb.
Thank you, Jack. I've been your representative for 2 years. When I first came into county government, I was elected alongside of Don Counts and Lowell Bates. And Mr. Lowell I'd admired since I was in grade school because I always knew he studied hard and tried to be a good and decent human being. I learned real quick that Lowell has a grocery store in Plevny, Alabama. Gets up and goes there every morning and does his job all during the day. And from him and Don both, I've learned a whole lot about how to be a commissioner and how to do the job. And Mr. Lowell is retiring after 20 years of service, and we felt it befitting to make some recognition of that because of all the work he's done for all us people here in the 7th District. So Mr. Lowell, if you would, please come forward and let me give you this plaque. This says, for 20 years of devoted service, for wisdom and insights of government, for always giving of yourself and your many talents, and for being unselfish of your valuable time, the people of Flintville, Kelso, Mulberry, and all of the 7th District of Lincoln County, Tennessee, do hereby bestow on this 20th day of July 2002 our deepest gratitude and fondest wishes upon Lowell Bates and his family. May God bless them richly, and may God bless Lincoln County.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate what you do.
First of all, let me lay down a little bit of the rules tonight to let you know what's going to be happening. All the candidates of all the county offices, including all the 8 districts, have been contacted and will be allowed to speak if they're here. Each candidate will be allowed 3 minutes. There'll be no question and answer period. You'll simply be able to talk about any subject that you'd like to talk about. However, a general statement is requested, and that being this: what are you giving to the voters of Lincoln County? What do you bring to the table? What are you offering us as voters of Lincoln County? What are your qualifications? What are your experience? That type of thing. And then you can talk about anything you want to. We're going to open up tonight first with our state offices. I might also give you some rules. Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of Defense, he is a career politician. He has 5 tips on being a successful politician. So just to give you, all you candidates, a little heads up on what you might be talking about. Number 1, it is easier to get into something than to get out. Number 2, don't do or say things you would not like to see in tomorrow's paper. Number 3, if you try to please everybody, somebody's not going to like it. Number 4, always remember where you came from. And number 5, if you do develop rules, never have more than 10. We only have 5. At this time, I'd like to call Alan Pittner. He is a candidate for state representative for the 62nd District. Mr. Pittner.
It's good to see all of y'all here tonight. I've been down to Flintville once or twice, and I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of you before, and of course, all the local candidates, I feel like you've become part of my family. Anyway, I'm Alan Pittner. I'm from Shelbyville. I'm running for District 62 State Representative, Pete Phillips' old seat. I'm from Shelbyville, Tennessee, was raised there, 1977 graduate of Shelbyville Central High School. Got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree in civil engineering from the University of Tennessee. Go Vols. 10 years ago, I moved back to Shelbyville after working in various towns across the state. I've been active in the community, very active in my community in Shelbyville. From president of the Chamber of Commerce to president of the Rotary Club, I serve on the Shelbyville Library Board, the Airport Authority. Very active in my community. I work very hard for my community, very dedicated to my community, and I want to be dedicated to the people of Lincoln County as well. I'm running for a lot of reasons. I'm running for people who can't afford to run, who don't have the resources to run, who don't have the time to run, who don't want to run, who can't run. Those are the people I'm running for. I'm running for nurses. I'm running for teachers who educate our children, opening up the world to new vistas. I'm running for the people who man our production lines in our factories all across this district and all across this state. The people who get up every morning and go to work, who work hard to support their families, to support their children, to put a roof over their head, to put food on the table, to put clothes on their back. I'm running for nurses who keep us well, who keep us healthy. I'm running for a number of folks. Primarily, I'm running for the children in this district. The children who we need to educate, who we need to prepare for the future. The children that are going to be our future, that are going to serve us, who are going to serve us, who are going to carry this country forward. Not only this district, not only this state, but this country forward. Those are the main people that I want to serve. I want to serve the family farmers, the small businessman. What's left of the family farmers and the small business people. These are the people that I want to represent. I'll promise you, I don't make a lot of promises running this race, but there's two things that I will promise. One is that I will communicate with you and I will work hard to keep your trust and your confidence. The other thing is that I will work hard. I work very hard. I've proven that in my community, and I want to serve you. And I want to promise you one thing else, that I will work as hard for Lincoln County, for the people in Flintville, for the people in this district, as hard as I work for the people in Shelbyville and Bedford County, and I will promise that. I would like to ask for your vote, your support, your help. We've got a week and a half to go, and I'd like to ask for your vote. Thank you.
I think we have another state, and correct, I don't know the name, so Jack Daniel, and he is running for the 39th district. Mr. Daniel, if you'll just come forward. Mr. Jack Daniel running for the 39th district. And I might mention while he's coming up, we do have folks coming in from other areas. They'll be coming in late. If we go through a particular office and somebody comes in afterwards, we're going to go back and allow them time to speak. We know that so many of the candidates have so many different places to be, so if we do miss you, we're going to give you an opportunity. Mr. Daniel.
I hope it's acceptable to wear my cap inside, since it identifies me just a little bit. Thank you for allowing me to come, and I'm glad of the timing here. We were over at Vantown, and time just kept really eating us alive. So we were able to get here, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you who I am. My name is Jack Daniel. I'm a candidate for the State House of Representatives, District 39. I'm concerned about the politics in Nashville. And I want to go to Nashville as your state representative to work on those issues that you're interested in, those that affect you. I was born and raised in Huntland. I graduated from Huntland High School. I played football under Coach Shirley Majors. Some of the old heads remember him. We all remember Johnny, who was a coach at University of Tennessee. That was John's dad. I graduated from Middle Tennessee State University with a degree in chemistry. I was commissioned a second lieutenant in the United States Army Corps of Engineers and rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel. My civilian career began in the aerospace defense industry in Huntsville, Alabama. Later, I went to the Tennessee Valley Authority and was a senior program manager. Then I returned to the aerospace industry and have served as a director and as a vice president of small companies in the Huntsville area. My experience has been one of leadership, and my philosophy is ask and do what I can do for my country, not what my country can do for me. If you'll elect me as your next state representative, I will do all I can for Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties, and I believe that will be the best thing I can do for my country. I believe government is too large and taxes are too high. While the government should have cut spending by 2.4% this year, they wanted to increase spending by 14%. State departments and agencies need to be independently audited and excessive spending curtailed. I'm against the state income tax and any other tax increase anyone wants to raise. This state sales tax that was just passed reduced your effective spending money by 3.3%. And it's going to cripple the small businesses of this district. People are going to want to buy in Alabama. 3,000 people commute to the Huntsville area from Lincoln County. They're going to spend their money before they get back across the border. So that's a real important issue in Lincoln County. People in the Chattanooga area are already doing that. They're going to buy gas and groceries and whatever else they need in Georgia, across the line into Georgia. I support the First and Second Amendments, the right to bear arms, the freedom of speech. I believe in God and the right to worship. I support the original core purpose of TennCare, that is to provide health care to those who are uninsured and those who can't afford insurance. I believe prescriptions should be made affordable, and I believe dental care should be covered. Everyone should have good access to good health care. But TennCare has been abused and been mismanaged. It has gotten way out of control. TennCare rolls are growing by the 10,000s. In 1 week alone, in June, 10,000 people were added to the rolls of TennCare. There are twice as many people enrolled in TennCare as the average number of people in the surrounding states in the Southeast. This is costing the hard-working earners, workers in the state of Tennessee an extra $678 million a year. The legislature wanted to fix TennCare, and they increased your cost by doing that by $214 million. I support better education and better training. Good government rests on the backs of educated and trained people. We need to return quality of education to our schools. I believe in the recent Supreme Court ruling that regarding vouchers, and I think that is a step in the right direction of improving schools. We must attract more good jobs to this district, to this area. We just lost a new Nissan plant from Deckard to Mississippi. This would have added 1,300 high-paying, high-tech, really solid, good jobs to this district. This area could have been affected. But we lost that to Mississippi. And I believe that is a failure of our administration and our legislation. We should have fought to the death for that plum. I will aggressively pursue better job opportunities for this district. I'm for streamlined government, one that is free of waste and frugal with our tax dollars. I want you to know that I was born and raised as a Democrat. My grandmother told me, Jack, we must never, ever elect another Republican. I'm a Republican. Now I'm a compassionate, conservative Republican because the Democratic Party has moved away from me. I believe it's time for change. Let's think out of the box. Let's restore integrity to the government. Let's send Republicans to Nashville and to Washington, D.C. to support our President Bush. I would like to have your help and your vote in this important election. God bless you. God bless this county. God bless this district. God bless the state of Tennessee. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Do we have any other state folks? I don't see any, so we'll move along with our program. What we're going to do first is our county commissioners and the folks that are running for county commission. As we said earlier, all 8 districts were contacted. Running in District 1, Steve Graham, Joyce McConnell, and Joe Tommy Stevenson. I don't see any of those present. District 2, Rick Abels, Peggy Bevels, Mike Brown, Clayton Wilson. District 3, Gary Badenhop, Buford Ray Moffitt, Rebecca Ann Strope. District 4, Ann Bankston, Dwayne Black, Randy D. Bradford, Bobby Fitch, Mark Monks, Mike Stevenson, Donald Swing. District 5, Shirley Dangerfield, Herman E. Holmes, Thomas Wayne King, James B. Norris. District 6, Harold Armstrong, Doug Cunningham, Philip Wayne Hastings, Bill Newman, Tammy Rose Painter, and Robert S. Spray. And I don't think any of those folks are here, but I did want to mention them to you. They are part of our county commissioner. Our county commissioners are elected for 4-year terms. They must reside in the district they represent, and they must be a qualified voter. They are the county legislative body, and their basic duty is to legislate the duties of the county. They do have some discretion in the operation of the county. Their general rule is take action by commissioners or those that are authorized by statute and constitution. They enter into contracts for our county. They approve settlements of lawsuits and many other actions that represent Lincoln County. One of the most important duties of the county legislative body is they allocate the appropriation of funds, the budget. At District 7, running for county commission, Ricky Bryant, and I believe Ricky's here.
Thank you, Jack. It's good to see all you all, and I hope you're all nice and full. I know why I am. My name is Ricky Bryant, and I am running for County Commissioner District 7. 4 years ago, I almost ran for County Commissioner. I really thought about it, and I decided to wait one term, get a little older, get a little more experience. I really want to run for Commissioner. I think I have something to offer this county. I'm really in touch with this county's youth. I work with them every day. I've worked at Lincoln County High School for 14 years. I know most of the kids in this part of the county, and all the county, and especially this part of the county. My wife asked me when I started this, she said, "Why are you going to run?" And I told her, I said, it's time, I believe it's time for my generation to step up and, take their turn. Everybody's been doing a good job, I know, but I'm 35, and it's time that some of my generation stand up and say, we're willing to help, and I am willing to help. I don't have but one promise, and I've told everybody this through the whole election. My promise is to you that I will work hard. I'll try to get the facts on all issues. I'll try to make informed decisions, and you can stop by my house. My house is a community house over here on Howell Hill Road. You'll see about 10 vehicles there every day. Everybody comes to see us. And you can stop and talk to me. I've got some swings and I've got some rocking chairs, and we'll sit out there and talk about whatever you want to. Feel free to call me at any time. That's about all I have. I'd appreciate your vote, and thank you very much.
Kristen Caldwell.
Good evening, y'all. I usually don't have to get up in front of this thing but one time during one of these events, but this time I'm running, so it's a little different. Of course, my name's Cruthen Caldwell. I've born and raised in this community, been here all my life. My wife, Donna, I got 2 little boys, Jacob and Caleb. I'm employed with Count Equipment down in Madison, Alabama as a heavy equipment mechanic. You know, when I decided to run for county commissioner, I went to see one of my good friends here in the community, and I told him, and he said, hey, I think I'm going to run for county commissioner. And he said, why are you going to run? Of course, I kicked into that politician mode, you know, saying, well, you know, I want to do my part. Well, he stopped me mid-sentence. He said, no, you don't understand. He said, why do you want to put up with the aggravation of being a county commissioner? Well, I couldn't answer him right then, and the conversation turned, and we went on, and I had to go to the house. And on my way home, I had to stop at the fire hall and community center we got down here in Flintville. And as I opened up the door and I looked in there and I thought, man, you know, in 10 years, we have really come a long way with this fire department. And then I remembered, you know, 12 years ago, when I decided to be a fireman, I was asked the same question. Why do you want to put up with the aggravation? Well, look what we've accomplished in this community because I put up with the aggravation. What can you have if you don't put up with a little aggravation? You know, I've been involved with county politics from the fire department standpoint for 12 years, and I see how it works and know a little bit about the mechanics of the county government. And I also know that being from this community, of some of the accomplishments made, we've got a brand new school up here. We've got a great community center and a great fire department. And I've seen firsthand, been involved with things that have made a good, strong community. And good, strong communities make a good, strong county. I want to be a commissioner for the people of the 7th District, to be a voice for you. Not to go down there and do what I want to do. I'm going to be a voice for you. And I would appreciate your support August the 1st. Thank y'all.
Also running in District 7, Don Counts. You might notice we're doing this alphabetically. I don't think I've told you that, but that's what we're doing, alphabetically.
Thank you all for coming tonight, and wanted to say that it's been an honor to be a county commissioner for the past 4 years. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you all the good things I've done, because I can't tell you many myself, but I can't tell you any good things I'm going to do, to tell you the truth either. But the way our Lincoln County government is structured, I know one guy had a campaign slogan, one man can make a difference. So I can tell you, one man ain't going to make a difference. He's going to have 12 other commissioners on his side, or he's just out of luck. Well, for all you that complain, we got a lot of people who complain about the way our government is, and until we're willing to make some major changes in the way our government's structured, there's not a lot we're going to be able to do. You know, where the buck stops here in Lincoln County, I'm not really sure. You know, President Harry Truman said the buck stops here is a way of saying sort of a slang term of pass the buck. Well, in Lincoln County, I'm not really sure where the buck stops. Have you ever asked, I'm sure a lot of you have asked commissioners questions, and they'll say stuff like, well, that's the school board's fault, or that's Donnie Ray's fault. And I was hoping Donnie Ray was here, because I used that one a whole lot. And that's the budget committee's fault. I'm sure Lowell's heard me say that. We can always say whose fault it is. Or here's somebody asked me a question like, why is the school so close to the road? There's no place to park. That's a good question. You know, there's a lot of things that happen in Lincoln County that I have no idea how it happens. I really don't. And, you know, we don't know where the buck stops, but that's perfect for the politician, because it's nobody's fault. And that's a good thing. But as we, the commissioners, we make big decisions. And one thing about it is there's very few people that really seem to care or know anything about it. We're in the information age. I wish everybody knew about it. And I wish the county commission was just packed every week when we're in there. But there's not many people that seem to be interested, and I hope that we can do something to make that, to change that. But I do want to say one quick thing, that we have 8 people running in the 7th District, and I'm very proud of that, and I'm proud we do have some people from my generation running, and whoever you pick in the 7th District is going to do a fine job. There's no doubt about it, and I want to wish them all luck, everybody who's here running, and a lot of politicians in the room, and the main thing is, though, I hope the best for Lincoln County, and we all need to pray for our county. Thank you.
Next, we have James Davis.
Good evening, folks. My name is Jim Davis. My records are James Davis. Most of you folks in here know me. I've worked for a lot of you folks off and on over the years. Good friends with a lot of you. But folks that don't get it. Everybody said some good things tonight, but I want to ask each and every one of you in the 7th District, do you want to get involved in the county? If you do, you'll elect me, I promise you'll get involved. And I don't make promises. I've got 3 grown kids, and I've never made a promise to any one of them. You registered voters. I have a plan. A lot of stuff I know is state mandated. I know that. Excuse me. If you registered voters want to get involved, I'm going to run some ads in exchange. I want to have a plan to have a meeting in 3 separate places once a month. From Kelso to Flintville to Elora. And anybody that wants to be heard, you come. If you don't say anything. We'll do the best we can. I'll do whatever it takes for the people of this community in this district. I'll help all 8 of them. Don't mind it at all. I'll work hard for everybody, but I want everybody to get involved. People, we need to get involved. We really do. And that's the only way I know how, because a lot of people won't go to Fayetteville to the meetings down there. And if we have them in our own communities, people show up, we'll discuss things. Something comes up on the agenda, you have a right to know. If you want it, we'll vote for it. If you don't want it, we won't vote for it. And that's as plain and simple as I can put it. Because a county commissioner is a vote for their district. They don't make decisions without their people. The people is it. Not me, not any one of the 8 of us up here. Anybody. We're supposed to go with what y'all want. Whether we like it, whether we don't. This is y'all's county. It's my county. And that's just the way I feel about it. And I'll do the very best I can, promise you. Thank you.
Up next, we have Steve Gunthenberg.
Thank you, Jack. Steve Guntherberg. I've lived in this county all my life. I see a lot of faces in here that my grandfather, Dr. A.L. Griffith, delivered. My wife Sharon and I run a greenhouse operation in Elora. We've been in business for 16 years, and I see a lot of our patrons sitting in the audience. I have taught school here in Lincoln County for 28 years. Mr. Ashley said, well, you need to talk about your experience. Well, I haven't got any experience as far as government is concerned, but I do have experience dealing with children, and I think if you deal with all their problems, you pretty much dealt with any kind of problem that could possibly arise in any kind of government. Now, my main concern for being a commissioner is to help the people of Lincoln County with a vote for them. Not my vote, their vote. Our county is $80 million in debt. Just think about it, $80 million. The state's only 400 billion. That's a fourth, working right at a fourth. We're going to have to do something to create jobs in this county. Our young people leave this county every year, graduating from high school, going to college, graduating from college. They're not coming back to Lincoln County. The jobs are not here. I haven't figured out yet why. That's what I want to try to figure out and try to find a solution for. If we don't have any young people coming back to this county to be teachers, doctors, lawyers, well, we're going to look around someday and all we're going to see walking Fayetteville streets is a bunch of old people. The young people are not there. And you can ask them. I know that's a pipe dream to bring all this in 4 years, but somebody's got to start somewhere. And I will work for the people of Lincoln County to the best of my ability. Although I have no experience in government, I do have one vote. I will not vote for anything that's going to place further burden on the people of Lincoln County. We need to reverse this debt, get it down, and spend the money wisely. In my opinion, it has not been spent wisely in this county. And I know there's a lot of people in here that will agree with that. One vote, it's your vote, the people of my district, and I will be in contact with you. And when the election coming due pretty soon, I ask for your vote, and I'll do the best that I can as serving you in the 7th District. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Tommy Holcomb.
Some good speeches, and these guys are right. 7th District has got to get more involved. 7th District, Lincoln County, Tennessee, has as much political power as any part of our county, and yet we're passing it up every year. We've got to get more organized. We've got to give more care to it, because you can make a difference. I've learned that from being your county commissioner for 2 years. Where there's numbers, where there's one voice, the politicians listen. But where there is no voice, then they go much ahead and pretty much do what they want to do. The one thing I've seen that's wrong with the county commission is there's too much city power on it. The county is given very little credence. I've been there 2 years. I hadn't heard Flintville, Elora, Kelso, Mulberry, Lincoln, Vantown, Taft, Blanche, Kirkland. I hadn't heard them mentioned. We don't even know you exist. I don't understand that still 2 years into it, why we don't do more for our communities. Some of our communities are dying. And we know when we lose schools or when we go down from high schools to elementaries, how that hurts our community. And a guy had a letter to the editor in the paper this week saying we needed more high schools. Well, I don't know if we can do that again or not, but I know in my heart I feel like that same way. I long for the day when there's a Flintville High School again. You got to get involved. Right now, we're talking about building a brand new public library. The county commission deeded them 5 acres right beside Motlow College, where we could save them money on the land. But the political power in the city of Fayetteville is fixing to build it right behind the west side of the square. And we're going to spend $1 million on a parking lot and put a $1.2 million library above it. That ain't right. It don't fit. Please say your opinion and get involved. And you may have to dig a little because you won't see it in the Elk Valley Times a lot of times. We're very good in our county at keeping the electric in an ignorant fashion. We don't tell, there's not enough news. We all know we don't hear enough news. I'll get back. My name is Tommy Holcomb. I am one of you. This is my sacred ground. This is my home. Always has been, always will be. I have worked hard for this district since you elected me in 1998, and I want to do so for another term. I am married to the former Vicki Pickett. We've been married 23 years. We both went to Flintville High School, and we're very proud of that. We have 2 kids, Case 18, Nettie 16. I'm a builder, home designer. I work hard every day just like most of you. I started Canorama. If you've seen the boxes in our local stores around here during the holiday season, that's us trying to get food because there are hungry people right here amongst us, right out there right now, right in our own hometown. And I ask you right now, this year, if you will, help me put a lot of food, any kind of food in those boxes, and we'll see if we can get them to hungry people. Governments are what God put on earth. They are here for a purpose, to help societies better themselves and to have order instead of chaos. Local government plays a small part in that big picture for sure, but it is very important to the people it serves. In my 2 years of service to you, I have never missed a committee meeting or a county commission meeting. I have dedicated myself to working hard to learn the office and how to be a productive legislator for you. I feel the experience I've gained can and will be valuable for the people of the 7th District during the next term, and I need your vote of confidence on August 1st. That being said, there are many things that you, the people, should be aware of that have been and are now or are very soon going to be in effect in your lives that will affect your pocketbook. Our county is in major debt. We owe about $80 million. A property tax was laid on you last fiscal year and during reappraisal, which hit some of you with a double whammy. And I fear another increase is close to happening. I did not and will not vote for a property tax increase, and I will strive to lower what it is now until we learn to spend our current amounts in a more careful fashion. And now a 9.5-cent sales tax and a 50% increase in the business tax has been put on all the people of Tennessee. The people of the 7th District can and should have a lot to say so about what happens in the coming days in our county. We must all voice our concerns. I pledge to you to donate my committee salary, which should be $1,200 to $1,800, to establishing a quarterly town meeting in our community centers here in Flintville, Kelso, Elora, just like Jim said. I'm willing to put part of what I make as your county commissioner into that so we can get more organized, we can get together in fellowship and talk about the issues that confront us. I love all you, I love the 7th District, and I pledge to work even harder if you see fit to re-elect me.
Also running for Commissioner in District 7, Willie Lee Leslie.
I am Willie Lee Leslie. I live at 28 Providence Road, Fayetteville, Tennessee. I've been in Lincoln County ever since 1942. So I am in Lincoln County. Now, I'm married to Verna Leslie, had 5 children, 5 grandchildren. I served on several boards in the city of Fayetteville, Recreation Board, several of them appointed by the mayor of the city. And I served on the Fayetteville Electric System Board for 25 years. I helped that board to grow from 9 million to 37 million. And I was told that it's nothing good and cheap. It's either good or it's cheap. Our children, the taxpayers' money send them to the public schools of Lincoln County. 12 years and they go then to college. After finishing, and if they decide to take up teaching, Lincoln County not paying as much as some of our surrounding counties. So it's no way that they will come back here, and our surrounding counties, some of them are getting our best that the taxpayer has paid for. It is time for us to look at that, to try to bring our children back where they can contribute back to Lincoln County what you have already invested in them. We can do that. And then, if you will elect me, if an issue come up before the court and I have the time, I'd like to get with the other two commissioners and we'd call a meeting in one of the precincts and lay before you the issue that's to be voted upon. Therefore, then we the people will start speaking again. You will tell us how you think we should vote. And the majority, we will try to do what the majority tell us to do. I will promise you this, that I will work not only for the 7th district, but for all of Lincoln County, because I'm convinced that we cannot raise the 7th district without raising all of the other districts. So if you will elect me for one of the 3 commissioners in the 7th district, I promise you that I will do the best that I can to serve this district. While I was on the board, federal elected system, I served the capacity of the vice chairman and the secretary. And I retired off of that board. If you elect me, maybe I retire off of this. Thank you.
And also running for commissioner in District 7, Mr. Ray Jacks.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I'm not a newcomer to county politics. I'm a retired person from Redstone Arsenal. I spent all my good years, I feel like, down there driving 100 miles a day to a job. You talk about jobs and what we can do to recruit new industry. Many of you don't know this, but we have an industrial recruiter that has recruited some industry. Now today, with the economy being the shape it's in, you can't just recruit anybody you want to. A lot of things you have to do. The one thing you have to do, if you're going to do this county any good, is try to recruit somebody that won't pollute the whole country. You can get that kind of industry, and we don't want that in this county. Recently, they defeated a proposal to put a colonial pipeline in here, and I hope they're never in here because they'll ruin our water supply eventually. But back to what I believe in and what I've tried to do. I've been a commissioner for 8 years, and I have the time to serve as a commissioner. I don't know that I've ever missed any committee meeting in the 8 years I've been there. And I've never been bashful about telling anybody about what I believe or what I think. I'm a conservative person. I believe that you have to live within your means. I was raised on the farm. I remember what that cotton sack felt like around my neck. And that was a bad experience in some ways, but it's been a good experience because I don't want ever to go back to that. Nobody likes to see a cotton picker in the field better than I do, the mechanical type, I mean. But let me tell you something. You talk about what we have done and what we haven't done in Lincoln County. Lincoln County has come a long way in the last 20 years. We've built more new buildings and more facilities for the people, for everybody to use, than any period in my life that I can think of in the past 20 years. And you may not like a jail that's been built, but we had to have it. It's been built. Had to have a new courthouse years ago. Had to have a senior center, and I'm proud of that senior center. I'm a senior myself. And while we're on the subject of senior citizens, let me tell you something. They've educated thousands of children in this county, and they're still educating them. Our tax rate's $2.03, and every time I get my tax bill in the fall of the year, I dread it because it's hard to scrape that money up. But let me tell you something, nothing's free, folks. You're gonna have to pay your way. If you have these things, you're gonna have to pay for them. Now we have to be careful. We can do better maybe than we have done in some areas, but I don't think that this county has wasted a lot of, I don't think this building's wasted here. I graduated from the high school that was here. I've had 2 daughters graduate from this high school, and I have 2 grandchildren. They're going to school here now. Will be in this school, will be over the old building last year. So I'm not necessarily ashamed of what this county has done and what the commissioners have done. I know how I feel about the duties of commissioner. I think you have to try to live within your means. You have to know that you need these things before you spend the money. You have to remember that this county has more and more senior citizens in it, and that they can't stand a lot of tax increases. I am not for a tax increase in this county. Every time the budget committee meets, and by the way, I'm a member of that committee, and I'm not ashamed of it at all, because we do the best we can with what we have to do with. Every time the budget committee meets for a new budget for the year, we may have 2 or 3 commissioners outside of that 8-person board there, but most likely there'd be a handful of people show up. And let me tell you something, there's always more people there with more requirements and more wants. We want this and we want that. All of it's not justified. I don't know that every dime that we spend is necessary to be spent, but I, for one, am a person that's not a big spender. When I was a boy coming up on the farm and picked cotton all day, my daddy didn't have $5 or $10 or $20 to give me to go waste somewhere on Saturday night. I know something about what you have to do to earn a living. I know something about what farmers are into today. And I can assure you that if you return me to the county commission from the 7th district, I've been the commissioner from the 8th for 2 terms. And I've tried to stay in contact with the voters, and I will be in contact with the voters in the 7th. I feel as much a part of the 7th district as I ever did the 8th, because I know most of you. But you can rest assured that I'm not a wasteful person. I can't do that in my own life. I can't do that in my own family. I can't maintain a home by wasting money. And that's what this county has to do. We have to live within our means. And that's about all I can promise you, that I'll do my dead level best to see to it that we don't spend money that we don't have to spend. At the same time, try to be honest with all of you. Anything you want to know about what I've done, you can find out. All you have to do is call me or meet with me somewhere, and I'll be glad to tell you. I appreciate you vote when you vote, whether it's early voting or the last day, 1st of August. I appreciate any help you can give me and re-electing me. Thank you very much.
Now in District 8, running for office, Maple Ferguson, Donnie Ogle. Donnie's here.
First, I'd like to say that I certainly appreciate the opportunity to come here tonight and say what little I'm going to say. I am Donnie Ogle. I'm running for commissioner in the 8th district. Might be the only commissioner from another district here tonight. I'm not sure, but it sure is getting down close to the end, so I don't see any of the others. But anyway, I served on the county commission for 20 years. I was elected in 1978. And ran through 1998, or was served through 1998, and ran again in 1998 and was not successful in my bid for re-election. There's several things that I've heard here tonight that certainly are well said. First off, I'd like to say that this county probably has got the best tax rate of anybody around us, always have had. So I think your commissioners have done an excellent job of doing the best to hold the tax rate down. We have a lot of services that we have improved on in the last 24 years. Mr. Jacks mentioned a lot of the new buildings that we built. He failed to mention the hospital, but it's also new. We have a diversified county in a lot of ways. We have a diversified tax rate. We have strived to expand our tax rate into other avenues other than just property tax. Been successful in some of those. Some of them we don't like, but majority of them have been necessary. Most of them have been approved not only by the county commission but by the people. I think there's still some avenues there that we can expand our tax base with instead of property tax. We're going to have some serious problems, I'm afraid, in the next few years with the debt load we've got now and trying to keep our tax rate at the level it is today. So we're going to have to expand that tax rate if we can, or the tax base if we can, in other areas in order to keep from hitting the property owner with another big tax increase. The county commission, I think, is probably the most important office. It's not really an office, it is an office, but it's the most important office in the county. And the fact that every budget that comes from the county, no matter what it is, it comes through the county commission for their approval. Sometimes the budget committee will go through those items in the budgets and recommend some changes. Not very often does everybody get everything they want. A lot of times they don't get what they deserve. But on the other hand, they try to hold the tax rate down. I would pledge to you that I would do the same thing if I am reelected. I'll do everything I can to help hold the tax rate at a level that we can all kind of live with. But I'll echo something else that Don Counts mentioned a while ago. When I was elected in 1978, I thought I could go up there and change the world. I found out right quick it takes 12 more before you can change anything. So you don't go up there, you can't hardly make promises here that you're going to do these things. You can make a promise that you'll try to do some things, but you can't promise to do anything because you've got to get your feet on the ground, get there and see what the situation is and see what monies are available. And it's hard to do that. It takes a lot of time. And in my 20 years of service, I served on the budget committee for 12 years. I served as secretary of the budget committee for 12 years. I served on the law enforcement committee for 8 years. I served on the health facilities board for a year. So I've been in the different phases of the government on the committees. I now serve as chairman of the adult orientation board, which I was appointed by this commission that's there today. I'm also serving on the ag committee now, appointed by the commission that's there today. So I've tried to keep up with what's been going on, even though I haven't been actively involved. I've tried to stay abreast of what's happening. And I feel good about our county. I feel good that we can progress and move forward without necessarily having to raise property taxes so much. But it's going to take some work. It's going to take some dedicated people when they go down there. It's going to take some people that's going to have to spend some time figuring out and trying to study and see what to do. Anyway, I am Donnie Ogle. I am from the 8th District. And if there's anybody here from the 8th District, I would certainly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Also running for commissioner in 8th District, Eddie Plunkett. And also running Kelly H. Stevenson. Okay, at this time, that winds up our county commissioners. Have we had any state office, running for state office come in? Good. We'll just move right along. I might say this. For someone that lived in and around Fayetteville for many years, I moved out into the county about 10 years ago, Burning Tree Lane, not too far out of town. I was in District 3. Back in August, on August 10th, I moved to my new home. I built out here at North Howard Fitz Road, just near Kelso. So I felt sure that I was going to be in District 7. That's not the case. They jumbled it up and redid it, and I'm still in District 3. But I still have close ties to District 7. My wife graduated Flintville, so I tried to get out here, but they wouldn't let me. So we'll move right along. The next offices that we have county clerk, and we have Miss Ann Underwood running unopposed.
Thanks to the folks that put this all together. All the candidates appreciate a few minutes to speak. I've had people say, "Why are you bothering to do anything?" Well, the biggest reason is to say thank you and to say hello to the folks that I don't see all the time. In town, I don't always see someone from Flintville or Vantown or Elora, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and say hello and thank you. I would appreciate a complimentary vote from you. It's certainly been my privilege to serve you as county clerk for 4 years. I've been in the office for 36 years. I'm really not that old, am I? But I have been there a long time. I know the job, and I will enjoy continuing to serve you as your county clerk. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
You know, it's really what you learn after you know it all that really counts, isn't it? Okay, next we have Road Superintendent Donnie Ray Hudson. He's running unopposed. I don't see Donnie Ray here. I did see him earlier today on a tractor, so he's probably busy working. We'll move right ahead to Assessor of Property. Running for Assessor of Property, Paula Coble.
Hello, I'm Paula Coble. I'd like to thank Mr. Ashley and the Flintville Fire Department for inviting me out and giving me this opportunity to speak to you. As I said, I am Paula Coble. I'm married to Eric Coble. We have 2 children, Patrick and Hannah. We live in the Huey community, which is in the 2nd Civil District. I was appointed to the assessor's office in November of 2001 after the death of Mr. Tucker. So I have been serving in the capacity of assessor of property since that date. I previously worked in the assessor's office I was chief deputy assessor under Mr. Wade West for nearly 5 years. So I do know the office. I think I'm very well capable of running the office and serving as the assessor. I have completed all the required courses in the county government, and also in the Assessors Association. I have taken some courses, which I think helps me to do my job better. Mr. Ashley wanted me to say what I will do for the people. I will always be there. Anytime you have a question concerning your property, feel free to come in my office. I'll be glad to tell you anything and everything that I can. If I don't know, I will find out as soon as possible and let you know what I can do. I also pledge to treat everyone in a fair and honest manner and fairly. And I know the taxes are based on what comes out of my office. That's the big tax base. So I just want to make sure everything is right and equitable so that nobody pays any more than they have to pay. And I truly would appreciate your vote come August 1st. Thank you.
Also running for Assessor of Property, Rennis McGeorge.
Thank you all for inviting us out tonight. Now, mine's brief. I'm short and to the point. What I bring to the table is I would represent all the people of Lincoln County. As you all know, the importance of honesty, hard work, integrity, and I'm asking for your vote tonight. Thank you.
Also running for Assessor of Property, Tammy Moore.
My name is Tammy Moore, and I'm running for Assessor of Property in the August 1st, 2002 general election. A little bit about me. I'm the daughter of Houston and Geraldine McVeigh, the daughter-in-law of AC and Peggy Moore. My husband David is a coach and a teacher of 24 years with the Lincoln County school system, and we have one daughter, Jerry Ann, who's 18, and will be attending Montlose State Community College this fall. I came to work in the assessor's office September the 1st of 1992. I'm about a month and a half shy of having 10 years of service with this office and with this county. I feel I served as chief deputy under the late Robert E. Kahila and the late James M. Tucker, and I feel that these years have given me and under these men the experience that I need to be a qualified candidate. And I would like to take this time and opportunity to ask you for your vote and support, and it will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Next, we have the Office of Trustee, running Janet Lindsay.
I'm Janet Lindsay. I'm married to Bob Lindsay of the Coldwater community. We have 2 daughters, two granddaughters, and 2 grandsons. My daughter and my son-in-law both graduated from Motlow. We're all Lincoln County natives, and all of my children were educated here in Lincoln County. And they have been helping me these last couple of months with my campaign, and we've tried to see as many people out there as we could. In fact, that's why I have on my shirt right now, we've been out this afternoon. I was appointed in January of 1984 after my father, Knox Stewart, died in office. I was elected that summer in the general election. The University of Tennessee offers a county officials certificate training program. I was in the first graduating class of that program. Since then, many of our county officials and employees have gone on to complete that course. In fact, my two full-time employees have both completed that course. I have 341 hours of training with UT. The best-known job of the trustee's office is collecting property taxes, as you well know, but that's not all we do. All of the county's funds go through our office, and my responsibility is to see that the funds are transferred, often daily, to the correct accounts as needed. We have to make a full accounting to the county commission of all money spent in each account, and we are closely audited by the state. In fact, the auditors stay in my office quite often because every agency has to balance back with my office. So after they audit me, then they audit another office and they come back and check with my records to see that they balance again. All of the county's funds are deposited locally, well, not all of them, excuse me, but they all earn interest at all times. And one of my main jobs is to see that the idle funds are deposited and earning interest. Of course, as I said, everything earns interest, but we want to get as much interest as possible. We deposit CDs locally, and every bank has a chance to bid on those CDs and to give us as much interest as we can get, and we give it to the top bidder. We also have money in the local government investment pool, and all these funds are fully collateralized. The state of Tennessee offers a senior citizen discount program, which many of you know about. Many of your parents are probably on that program. There are certain guidelines, and income plays a big part in that. We carry about 600 people on that program. We were afraid this year, with the state's budget being in trouble, that we would lose that program, but we didn't. It has been reinstated for $10 million for the state. And I believe ours runs about $40-some-odd thousand. It's been a privilege serving as your trustee these past 18 and a half years. and I sure would appreciate your vote for another 4 years. Thank you very much.
Also running for the office of trustee, Mary Jane Porter.
My name is Mary Jane Porter, and I'm running for trustee of Lincoln County. I am a lifelong Lincoln Countian. My husband and 9 children live in Petersburg. I am married to Bobby Porter, who is the purchasing agent at the Fayetteville Electric System. We have 4 children. Warren is a senior at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Yay. We have a daughter who is Mabrin, who will be a sophomore at the Lincoln County High School, and we have twins, Ken and Katie Barnes, who will be in the 8th grade at the Fayetteville Junior High. I am in my 13th year of employment as a bookkeeper for the Fayetteville City Schools. One of my major responsibilities there is the investing of funds, which is also, as Ms. Lindsay said, a very important position in the trustee's office. Part of my other responsibilities include financial reports, budget documents, and other reconciliations of other financial statements. I work very closely with the State Department of Education, the City of Fayetteville, and also the trustee's office. These 3 entities are what actually fund the Fayetteville City Schools, so I work with them very closely. I also have 3 years of banking experience, which my responsibilities there were opening up new accounts, which include money market accounts, certificates of deposit, IRAs, and other interest-bearing accounts also. I think I've said time and time again this summer has been an interesting one to me because many doors that I've knocked on and hands that I've shaken, people have asked me, what is a trustee? Of course, the trustee is the person that you pay your county property taxes to. They invest the idle funds for the county, and they're also responsible for reporting all the financial reports. I want to make this promise, that if I'm elected by the people of Lincoln County, my office is going to be open. It's going to be open for you. You're going to be met with a friendly, smiling face, and you're going to be handled with professionalism. I'm going to be there to help you, and if I can, I'm going to find somebody there that will help you. I'm going to work closely with the tax assessor. Any questions you have on your property taxes, I'm going to be there to help you with that too. I know that I can't knock on every door and I can't shake every hand, but I'm taking this opportunity to ask you for your vote, whether it be early or August the 1st. Thank you.
Next up, we have Register of Deeds. Running for the office of Register of Deeds, Sue Armstrong.
Well, you heard my name. I could tell you about campaign experiences when I thought I would be mauled by a Rottweiler, but instead it was a little mule. Made a lot of noise. I can tell you a lot, but that's not what we're here for. What can I do for you as your Register of Deeds? Well, this is not a position of entitlement. None of them are. Everyone's allowed to run, and it's your choice to make a change. I have educational, legal, accounting, secretarial experience. I have been an educator for 25 years. There is nothing wrong with teaching. I'm proud to be a teacher, and I'm proud of our educational system. If I can teach our children by example about the political process, teach them that ordinary people can run and be elected. If not, I'll take that knowledge back to them and educate them about local government because we don't know enough. It's our fault. We need to get out and do more. But I can assure you that the office will run. I will be a supervisor to listen to employees and continue running that office in the courteous manner that it has been. If there are changes to be made, there would not be rash changes. It would be, I would check with the consumers. I would check with the employees. I would check with the legal ramifications before any changes were made. Most of it is set forth by the Constitution and the Tennessee Code annotated to collect your taxes in the office. I will do my best and give you a day's work for a day's pay. I will be your employee. Thank you so much, and please vote for me.
Running for the Office of Register of Deeds, Randy Delap.
Thank you, Jack, and the members of the Flintville Volunteer Fire Department for having us here tonight. I am Randy Delap. I'm a candidate for Register of Deeds of Lincoln County. I live in the Lincoln community, lived there all my life. I see a lot of people out here tonight that I've seen and saw me, as I told them at Vantown earlier tonight, saw me grow up down there on the corner. But I would love to be your Register of Deeds. I feel like that I spent 14 years at First National Bank, and I feel like that banking experience has given me the background to understand the duties of the office. I don't have any experience there, but I promise you one thing, I'll make up for what experience I lack in hard work. And I was brought up to work hard, and I'll work hard for you as your Register of Deeds. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to ask you for your vote. And the main thing is, everybody please get out and vote on August the 1st. Thank you.
And running for the Office of Register of Deeds, Vanetta Gentry.
Hello, I am Vanetta Gentry, and I'm running for the Office of Register of Deeds. I am married to Steve Gentry, and we have a little boy named Will. He's 5 years old, and we live in Fayetteville. I was born and raised here in Lincoln County, graduated from Lincoln County High School. I graduated from Motlow State Community College with a 2-year degree. I worked part-time in the Registrar's office while I was in college, and I have worked in the Registrar's office for 16 years. It's the only job I've ever had. I currently serve as the Chief Deputy Register and bookkeeper. I do all the book work. I love my job. I've enjoyed serving the citizens of Lincoln County for the past 16 years. I would like to continue serving the citizens of Lincoln County as your Register of Deeds. So I would appreciate your vote on August the 1st. Thank you.
You know, it's always amazing me in the political process. Some of these candidates kind of dragging. Seem like, you know, y'all look like y'all tired and been out working today and been. Up next, we have Circuit Court Clerk, running for the office of Circuit Court Clerk, Gail Corder.
I am Gail Corder. I am presently your Circuit Court Clerk, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come and speak with you tonight. I've been the clerk since 1986, and it's been an honor to serve you. My education background is I'm a graduate of Flintville High School. I'm married to Gary Corder. He's a farmer here in the community. My 3 children went to school at Flintville. They're also a graduate of Lincoln County High School. I've attended Motlow College. I'm also a graduate of the UT County Officials Training Program with a certificate as a certified public administrator. I'm also a member of the County Officials Association of Tennessee. Speaking of our budget, this year, our budget ends on June the 30th. My budget in clerk's fees, we paid my whole budget. That means everything that we budgeted for the year through our clerk fees was paid, plus we had $5,000 that we turned over to the county. I know all aspects of this office, from the civil and criminal warrants to the accounting, to the criminal court of appeals, any transcript that goes there, I do all those. And you ask me what can I give to Lincoln County? I give not only 100% of my time, but 110% of my time. I'll explain. A couple of years ago, we had a murder trial. We went and picked the jury in another county on Friday. On Sunday, we had to go pick up the jury. That was my Sunday off, but we went and got them. We came back. We took them out. We had their dinner meal. We got them registered to the motel. Then on Monday morning, we started the trial. We also had to find transportation to transport them to their meals, back to the hotel. Then on Thursday night when we finished at approximately 8:30. I got on the bus with those people. We took them back to their county. I got back in Lincoln County at approximately 2:30 a.m. in the morning. And then I was back at 8 o'clock on my regular job. That's what I can give to Lincoln County. I give you 110% of my time, and I also give you my experience. I give you my experience as the circuit court clerk and as the deputy clerk that I was previous to that. I ask for your continued support, and I ask that you vote for me on August the 1st. Thank you.
Also running for the office of Circuit Court Clerk, Michelle Driver. She must not be here. So, moving right along, running for the office of Circuit Court Clerk, Jeannie Hyde.
I am Jeannie Hyde. I am a candidate for the office of Circuit Court Clerk, and we've been given the opportunity several times during this campaign to speak before people. However, I think I've probably had more profound statements and been more enlightened tonight than I have in anything we've done before, and I do certainly appreciate this. I think this is something that can certainly change the minds, perhaps, of some of the people. I do have 24 years of experience as a director of the largest benevolent organization in the world today, which is the American Red Cross. Through this, I have learned secretarial, clerical, communication skills. I do the bookkeeping, the accounting for our office, and I definitely feel as far as the secretarial qualifications, I am qualified for this office. One of the questions that Jack said that we should address is, what can I give to this office? The job that I have now, I've had for 24 years, as I told you a moment ago. The job that I have has worked with a very controversial bunch of people. It works with a very diverse bunch of people. People that are in trouble, I think, is a lot of the times the people that come into my office at Red Cross. And I think this is the same type of people that are having an emergency situation, perhaps, or a problem that come into the office of the Circuit Court Clerk. I realize that's not in all cases, but in a lot. I think that one of my attributes at my office that I run now is the ability to work with these people and serve these people in a courteous, fair, and respectful way to make them feel more comfortable when they come into my office. I would love to be given the opportunity to do this. I realize that I may not have the 16 years of experience that Ms. Corder has, but as so many of you have said tonight, I'm definitely willing to work and do. I work for an organization where I have been on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the 24 years that I have served our community. And I'm still willing to have my door open and my phone open to people that should have problems after hours. Jack started with some profound statements, and Rumsfeld said, I think it was his fourth rule, don't forget where you came from, or don't forget your being. I will not forget where I came from, because if I'm elected, it will be because of the voters of Lincoln County. And I certainly would appreciate the opportunity to serve you. My door will be open, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you so much for letting me come.
We have the office of County Executive and the office of Sheriff. Before we get back into the county offices, we do have another state office candidate that has shown up. So at this time, we're going to allow Kurt Cobb, who is running for state representative in the 62nd District, to come and speak to us. Somebody said he was here. So Kurt Cobb running for the 62nd District State Representative.
Okay. I guess everybody knew that I was going to talk because they took off out the door real quick. They're passing me. But I'm glad to have this opportunity. I have to apologize for my appearance. I have 3 counties I'm running in, and I've been in all 3. I left the house about 5 o'clock today and haven't been back, and I live in Shelbyville. But just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm Kurt Cobb. I'm running for state representative in the Democrat primary for the 62nd District, which is a large part of Lincoln. We have Bedford and a small part of Rutherford County in the district. One thing about, I am a family man. I have a wife, I have a little girl that'll be 4 in October. Speaking of family, I do have some family from Lincoln County. I have a cousin, some of y'all might know, Dr. Ted Cobb, who's from Pograb, and also my dad, Ty Cobb, who's here tonight. He had made it with many trips with me, but he is tonight. Was a judge here for 20-something years, chancellor. And also my brother, some of y'all might know him, is a UPS driver, has been driving here for about 9 years around the town of Fayetteville. He really loves Fayetteville-Lincoln County, talks about it quite a bit. If I'm elected, I definitely will treat Lincoln County. I've listened to a lot of people, and everybody wants to be treated fully, fairly, and equally with the other counties in the district. And I promise y'all that I will do the very best I can to hold that up, and I make that a promise to y'all. Some of the priorities I believe that we have to work with right now in government, we definitely need to, of course, everybody, we talk about education needs to be supported. We need to have better management and efficiency in our government. We need to support and protect our senior citizens benefits programs. We need to support our strong agriculture industry that we have, which is made up, we have one of the strongest in our district. Also, we need to support our local government needs. I know that we have a lot of people running for county executive and sheriff. That's very important. It got into the political arena this last time, but all those are priorities. I believe in putting priorities first. We do need to work on management and efficiency. I am opposed to a state income tax. I've had a lot of people ask me for reasons why. I could go into it all day. There is 46 states are having budget problems this year, and almost all of them have an income tax. That is not the answer to the solution. Better management and efficiency is what we need. And I truly believe if we put our priorities first, we can fund everything. But I would like to thank everybody for letting me come out. Personally, I would like to invite everybody to have an ice cream supper that I'm having this Friday. It'll be at the Lincoln County Courthouse at the gazebo from 4:30 to 6:30. Everybody's welcome to come out and have some ice cream. Appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more offices to go. County Executive, running for County Executive, Jerry Mansfield.
Thank you, Jack. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. And it's a pleasure to be in a room with a man that gave me my first job after I graduated from MTSU in 1969. And another gentleman's in here that gave me my last job before I was elected your county executive. And Mr. Joe and Mr. Jerry have taught me a lot of things during that period of time. They've taught me to be an enhancer of life, for one thing, to do some good things, do things that need to be done. But more importantly, they told me not to be a well poisoner, not to come out making statements that are going to damage the integrity, and in this case, of the county. Been a lot of talk about taxes tonight. Been a lot of talk about debt tonight. We've got a new Farm Service, OASCS office. Y'all know what that is. We borrowed the money to build that building. County did. Federal government's paying the debt on it. We'd be in a pickle, Maurice, if we didn't have ASCS office in Fayetteville taking care of our farmers. Farm Service Agency is a valuable commodity, and agriculture is still our biggest industry. Several other items that you want to call them county debt, they're not being paid for by your property tax rate. They're being paid for out of revenues. If it's the water department, it's being paid for out of water revenues for the county water department. We all want people to have public water. We don't all have it yet. The hospital was a much maligned issue 5 years ago. Paid for out of it, it's paying its own debt, paying its own way. We've had some conservative commissioners, and they've kept your property tax low. They have been able to conserve your debt service money in such a way that when this building was built, they did a $20 million issue on this building and the others that were built. They didn't raise property taxes 1 penny to service that debt. That debt's being served out of current debt service. I'm proud of Lincoln County. I'm going to say good things about her. I promote her every day. I protect her every day. I take care of your county buildings to the best of my ability, and I work with the county commission on a daily basis, and I will continue to do that. We have the lowest tax rate right now of any county touching us. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the history of keeping records in Lincoln County this past recording period, this past month, of 3.6. We have a lot of people that go out of county by choice. They like to live in Lincoln County because it's a quality county. One of the other candidates earlier tonight said there's 3,000 people go to Huntsville every day. They do it by choice. They come here to live. We have a varied community. We have one of the best counties, I think, in the state of Tennessee. And we're going to take care of it. For the last decade, I want to also address something that came up tonight that we don't need to get into a fuss with the city of Fayetteville. You have a economic development board that's jointly membership by the county and the city. We have an economic development director, a good one. But every bit of the infrastructure that services the industrial park, from water and sewer, comes from the city of Fayetteville. Cooperation is key. The county can't own the industrial park because we can't serve it with infrastructure. The city can't own an industrial park as easy as we can because the size of the park needs more financing from the county. When we bought this last acreage to add to the industrial park, to add to the industrial base in Lincoln County, we didn't borrow 1 red penny. Not 1 red penny. County Commission's done a good job. They've been conservative. Sometimes I want to pull what hair I had left out because it's too conservative. We have a 911 center. County borrowed that money too. 911 pays servicing that debt. We're nearly through paying for the jail. That jail's being paid for with state prisoner money coming from the state of Tennessee servicing that debt. Lincoln County's come a long way and she can go a lot further, and I'm proud of her, and I hope you are too. And I'd like to continue to be your county executive. I'm Jerry Mansfield, and I'll always remember where I come from. Thank you.
Also running for the office of county executive, Rexine Douthit Pig.
As a lady, it is always a pleasure to speak in front of a crowd. I want to thank the Flintville Volunteer Fire Department for this opportunity, and all the commissioners and people that I've met on this campaign that I had never met before. And I'm so privileged for that privilege. Tonight, as I come before you, I want to tell you some of the concerns that I have heard while I'm out here. Our youth of Lincoln County talked to me, we don't have anything to do. There's no place for us to go. There's nothing for us to do. Now, our churches are real helpful in giving our children something to do. But I would like to put into your heads an idea, what can we do for our youth to give them guidance so that they won't be getting in trouble and going out. That's just a thought. Also, I would like to address the job situation. When I finished high school, I went on and went to Martin Methodist College in Pulaski. Then I went on to MTSU in Nashville, in Murfreesboro. And when I got out of school, I wanted to get a job, so I went on and went to Baptist Hospital and worked then at Vanderbilt University. And in these two jobs, I feel like I had a lot of experience dealing with all types of people. Now, this county executive position, you need to be able to meet the public and promote, as Jerry says, promote Lincoln County to the best of your ability, because this position represents Lincoln County so many times. And I would just like the opportunity. I appreciate my opponents. We've had a good race. Me and 5 men, that's a pretty tall order. But I'm thankful for this privilege, and I thank you for your attention. My name is Rexine Pigg, and I thank you for your time.
Also running for County Executive, Howard Polachek. Running for County Executive, Kevin Sanders.
Good to be here tonight. It looks like after we had the break, it kind of slimmed out somehow. I think we let the gate open and couldn't run them all back in, huh? My name is Kevin Sanders. I'm running for county executive. I ran last time, got beat about 86 votes. I've been working hard this time not to let that happen. I'm not a career politician. I did graduate from Central High School, 1971. Played basketball for Sam Ezel. I have well over 20 years of management experience in industry. Within that industry time, I've had a lot of experience in budgeting. I've had a lot of experience in spending justification, which is well needed in this county. Not all things in government are justifiable. There's some things we just have to do as a group, and we spend our money collectively and do that. Planning, I had a lot of experience in planning. Planning's future, where we're going to go from here. And that's a lot of importance, especially today with the economy as it is, and we do have a lot of debt. We can't borrow our way to success. We can't be real progressive with borrowed money. We can't every time we turn around borrow money, go deeper and deeper. Sometimes that's got to go. And debt eventually, if it's not justified spending, will revert back to taxes, back to property taxes or some other kind of tax. I think we're taxed enough. I think we need to work beyond, not beyond our means. We need to work right within the money that comes in. If we're going to raise taxes, we need to raise it through prosperity. We need to have industrial development such that we have major companies come in, we have plenty of work, got higher paid jobs. We have that kind of money that increases the tax base through a positive way. I have a lot of experience in the engineering background. And one thing I have a lot of experience in is problem solving. So many times I see problem solving. And every time it seems to be we got to have money to problem solve. So many things can be solved maybe in the procedure which we do things. Maybe we need to change some other assets. Maybe we need to do different things to make the problem go away. Maybe sometimes it's just a lot of involvement. We all need to get more involved. I am a businessman in Lincoln County. Been a businessman For the last, since 91, I took my father's business over, Dot Tool, was Sanders Tool and Die. So I have a lot of experience in business. I want to let you know I support education. It's great to be here in the new school. Educating the future people that's going to run this country is very important. We're going to get old one day, and we're going to turn it over to them, and we're going to need them to be educated in such a form that they can handle the situation at hand, whatever that might be. And who knows where we're going to in the next 20 years. And there's been a lot of talk about debt tonight, and yes, there is a lot of debt. I've personally researched, and it is over 80 million just in 3 entities, and that's not going any farther. And when you go to Nashville, you'll find that it's very hard to find out what debt we got. And I'll promise you, when I take office within the first week, I'm going to let everybody know the total debt of this county, because I think it's very important we all know where we're at and where we're going to. I want to repeat, we cannot borrow our way to success. I want to make a pledge to you. First of all, I'm not a career politician. I want to repeat that. And I want to pledge to the citizens here of Lincoln County that I will vigorously oppose and I will veto any spending outside our budget. I think it's very important when we talk about tax increases. I do believe that on major issues, you should have that right to vote for that. One thing that really sticks in everybody's craws is the wheel tax. Yeah, there's some necessary expenses that goes to. But I tell you, that thing ought to be ended. And then if you want to vote it back in, that ought to be up to you as voters. And that's what should happen. We should do what was said originally and not extend it out. And then, like I say, you as the voters have the right to extend it out again if that money's needed. So I want to say to you, it's I want you to keep your right to vote for all major issues, and I think if we're going to go mortgage your land with tax-based money and put that at risk, I think you should have that right to vote for that. Otherwise, I think you want us to do our job within our budget. I believe one vote can make a lot of difference, and I think one person can make a lot of difference, especially in the right spot, to lead Lincoln County beyond where we're at today and where we're going to. Pull us out of debt, reduce our debt, bring our industrial development maybe with a different outlook, look at it differently, try to get some jobs in here. Our jobs are going the wrong way. We need them coming back. I think I can make a difference, and I want to ask for your vote and your support to elect me as your county executive August 1st. Thank you very much.
Also running for the office of County Executive, Jim Shaddy.
Good evening. I want to thank the Flintville Volunteer Fire Department for having this forum. I am Jim Shaddy. I'm a candidate for the office of County Executive. My roots run deep in Lincoln County. I was born and raised here. After serving 4.5 years in the United States Marines, I returned to this county to raise my family. Now I have retired from Fayetteville Electric System, and I want to serve my county by seeking the office of County Executive. I believe that the key to a successful future for this county is cooperation and communication. Cooperation with the city, cooperation with the county commission, cooperation with the state and each other. And I want to implement this. I want to let everybody know what's going on, honestly and fairly. We have proven that a united effort can be effective in protecting our property here. We helped stop the Colonial Pipeline I believe in government, we should always use common sense in every decision and pray that we make the right decision. Legislators should always control their spending, just like we do in our personal finances. Some debt probably is unavoidable. The amount of debt is controllable. The lack of jobs here in Lincoln County is a problem that can be solved. If elected, I have some new ideas for better recruiting efforts. I think we should always hold those responsible for industrial recruiting. We should hold the people that are responsible. I think also that mine is a grassroots campaign. I've been all over Lincoln County. I've knocked on doors and I've talked with each individual. I've listened to your concerns. I've listened to your suggestions about how we can solve some problems. And let me tell you, Lincoln County is Lincoln County if it's 1 foot inside of Franklin County line. It's just as much in Lincoln County as that courthouse is. I want everybody in Flintville to know, and everybody in Delrose to know, or wherever they live in Lincoln County. They should have the same representation. I've been listening to these people, all of our citizens across the county. And like I say, listening to your ideas and suggestions. And the biggest problem that the people want, they want to see jobs come to Lincoln County. They want to see their young people stay in Lincoln County. They want to save money on gas and time and their vulnerability of being on the highway. They don't want to go out of the county. And you got to know that these people are buying out of the county too. While they're out of the county, they're buying out of the county. They're not spending money in Lincoln County. And most all the women want a major grocery store in Lincoln County. They think it's needed, and I do too. Lincoln, a county seat, should offer more variety in grocery buying than it's here now. Also, more choices in family dining establishments. Volunteer organizations like the Flintville Fire Department, all the fire departments and emergency management across the county need recognition and they need support. They're in better shape now than they've ever been, but they could be better. And what I want you folks from Flintville Fire Department and all our other emergency preparedness people to make an evaluation of what you need, what you want, what you need, and let's in a prioritized way, and let's see how we can help you. You need not go without safety equipment, and that should be a priority. I understand the problems and needs of Lincoln County. I've lived and worked with you all my life. I share your concerns. I'm asking for the opportunity to try and build a positive future for all of us. And I think most people in Lincoln County know that it's time for a change in the office of county executive. We need things done honestly and fairly for everyone. Thank you.
Also running for the office of county executive is David Smith. I don't believe David's here either. So our final office is Lincoln County Sheriff. Running for Lincoln County Sheriff, Murray Blackwelder.
Good evening. I'm Murray Blackwelder, running for Lincoln County Sheriff. I've been with the Sheriff's Department in one capacity or the other in several different positions since 1991. I started as a corrections officer, graduated Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy in 1992. Worked on the road on night shift as a deputy approximately a year and a half, 2 years, something to that effect. Resigned, went into the Lincoln County Sheriff's Posse immediately thereafter. Was appointed Judicial Commissioner for Lincoln County in 1995, and I have been there ever since. I work every other 24 hours, 365 days a year I'm on call. What I do is I come out, I issue the warrants, I set the bonds, check probable cause on the charges, and deal with the officers. I deal with every officer that comes in the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department at one time or the other. I deal with every charge that comes in at one time or the other, everything from public intoxication to first-degree murder. It's time that Lincoln County dealt with the issues that are facing Lincoln County. I had a lady ask me the other day, said, "So you want to be sheriff?" Being sheriff is not what I'm into this for. I want to make a difference in Lincoln County. I want to make a difference for our children, for my children. If I can make a difference for my children, then I've made a difference for your children. I teach at the Lincoln County High School. I know what these children face. I know what the youth of today are dealing with, and they are dealing with some tremendous issues. These issues are not being dealt with. As Sheriff Mullins pointed out earlier, it's a money matter. I agree, not arguing that fact. It takes money to make these things happen. I'm also a successful small business owner. I sold my business in January of 2000. I know what it takes to make things happen. I made a business go from my garage to a very large business in 5 years. And you can't run out here and say, "Hey, give me more money," because your banker sooner or later is going to look at you and say, So you've got to make do with what you've got. You've got to make it work for you. It can be done. I've got three qualifications that I think would make me a good sheriff. I've got the knowledge, I've got the ability, and I've got a desire to make a difference. And that's what being sheriff should be about in Lincoln County, Tennessee. I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Also running for Lincoln County Sheriff, Craig Bledsoe.
I'm Craig Bledsoe, and for the politicians that's here, that if you haven't been up to the Mulberry area yet, I want to just give you a little warning. Yesterday I got out and went around to the house, and a big boxer bulldog come around and jumped up and grabbed me right there. So I don't know how many of you it's been dog bit, but it's been fun, and I've had a wonderful time out here politicking. And I was raised in Vantown. I now live in Lincoln with my wife Crystal, and we have a 2-year-old boy. He will be 2 August the 3rd, named Lane. And I went to school across the road over here at the elementary school. Went to school here, and I graduated in 1990 at Lincoln County High School. I turned 18 June 1990, and I got into the rescue squad and participated with them up until about 91, I think, and I got into the volunteer fire department and became a state certified firefighter. Randall Shelton hired me to be a corrections officer in 1992 in March, and I worked as a corrections officer until 1994. I was promoted to deputy sheriff and went to the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy September and October 1994. and I worked for Sheriff Bean at that time. And Sheriff Bean passed away in office, and Ray Roten kept me when he became sheriff through the county commission. And also I worked for Sheriff Mullins. I quit in 1999, went to work for LTV Copperwell. Now I'm seeking the office of sheriff, and I have some ideas that I think will make our sheriff's department a little more efficient. I want to get the communities involved. The sheriff's department they've got a lot of things they have to do. You have to keep the courts, you have to keep paper served, and you have to keep the jail. Every piece of paper that comes out of the courthouse, as far as civil and state warrants, the sheriff has to handle it. And the courthouse, you got to take care of the security, and every time the court is open, you got to have somebody there, and you need to have qualified people up there taking care of business, because at any time anything could happen. We need to upgrade the security up there whenever court proceedings are going on. And I also want to be a working sheriff. I want to be out here in the communities, finding out your problems, seeing what y'all see. Y'all are the eyes of the county. You know what's going on. You may see something that we don't know about, and we've got to find out somehow. And if y'all can tell us that, then we can get leads and stuff, and we can move on it. And I'd like to ask for your vote, either early vote or August 1st general election. And thank you.
Running for the office of Lincoln County Sheriff, Matt Counts.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Flintville Fire Department for inviting us up here and for the fine food they had. My name is Matt Counts, and I was born and raised here in Flintville, down here on Wells Lee Road. For the past 30 years, I worked in the city of Fayetteville. And what I can bring to this department, experience, honesty, hardworking, and very able to do the job. I know what most of the problems are here, and I believe I can solve them. And I'd appreciate your vote, if you haven't already, on August the 1st. And thank you.
And running for Lincoln County Sheriff, Jimmy Mullins.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jimmy Mullins, your present sheriff. I'd like to thank the Flintville Fire Department also for letting us come out tonight and be able to talk to you, to each and every one of you. I started in law enforcement in '76 as a reserve officer. When a new sheriff was elected, I went to work as a deputy sheriff. Later, I was promoted to sergeant. And we had a change in sheriffs. I went to work for him, Tom Bean. Worked for him for about 6 months, and he made me chief deputy. All in all, I've got, before I was elected, I had over 14 years experience. Over 12 years of it was chief deputy. I had a pretty good idea about the sheriff's office, of what needed to be done or how it to be done. And thanks to the people of Lincoln County, I was elected the sheriff of Lincoln County. And I took office. I'll be the first one to tell you that I didn't have an idea of the difference it was from chief deputy to the sheriff's job. It's totally different as daylight and dark. Over the 4 years we've worked, I've hounded the county commission, and they've been good to me, and by them being good to me, they've been good to y'all. They've given me another investigator, given me 3 deputies, so they can serve the people of Lincoln County better. Right now, tonight, while we're standing here, if everybody's working, there's 4 people covering this whole county. There's 4 people working right now, covering 580 square miles, looking after 31,340 people. If I'm reelected as sheriff, I'll be hounding the county commission again, asking for more people to do more things for the people of Lincoln County. As sheriff, there are statutory duties that sheriff has to do. By law, it's mandated to do certain things. And with the people that I have on hand, it is hard to even get most of the statutory duties done and to do them well. I have 3 investigators. Captain Joyce McConnell, she handles most of your child sex abuse. Right now, she has a backlog of probably 40 cases. 40 cases. And all these burglaries y'all hear about, the investigators are working on them all the time. We're making cases on them. They had about 8 indictments this last grand jury. There's a lot of time is spent on these cases. We're talking about money tonight and purse strings, and that's what's holding a lot of us back. Now, I've come under budget each and every year, but it takes little explanation of why is a man asking for more when he's not spending all he's got. A county budget for a department is line items. You got so much for gas, you got so much for salaries, you got so much for taking care of prisoners, buying prisoners' clothes, uniforms for the officers. I done away with the little colored epaulets, the pockets, the stripes down the leg. That's $10 per suit. I done away with those things. Stuff trying to save money. To get money changed from one item to other, it takes the budget committee to change it. You can't just up and do it. Now, you're overspending one item, and they'll go in there and they'll take $10 out of this item, put it down here. But I abused coming under budget each time when I go back and explain to the people, look, this year I was 124,000 under. I need some more deputies. And like I said, they have been good to me and been good to y'all by giving me more people. We have a big problem with drugs in Lincoln County, and I venture to say every county is just like us. There's been over 1,000 drug arrests made since I've been in office, and more to come. In April of '99 to April of 2000, there was 1,700 and something arrests made, charges. Maybe one person had 2 or 3 charges on them. 2 years later, same time frame, there was 3,500 and something arrests made in Lincoln County. Lincoln County Sheriff's Department is a big business. Big business, serve over 5,000 papers a year. That's civil and state papers. But I have enjoyed the job. I appreciate y'all letting me work for you. I'm like any other elected official. I got 31,340 employers, bosses out there. There's no way you can please all of them. But I'll do my best to please as many as I can. I'd like to ask y'all to vote for me on election day. And I thank you very much for listening to me.
That concludes all the candidates that we have on our docket, and we appreciate your patience and time, and we appreciate all the candidates and all the voters. We would like to tell you to remember that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we react to it. Reminds me of a story of 2 brothers owned adjoining farms. For many years, they farmed those properties. Then they had a little argument. Became a big argument. Finally, one of the brothers diverted one of the streams right down the middle of the property, thereby creating a permanent natural separation between the 2 brothers. Had a stream running right down it. One day a carpenter came looking for work. The other brother said, I want you to build a fence down this stream. I'm going to do my brother one better. So the carpenter said, okay. The brother left. Several hours later he came back. The carpenter had not built a wall. He had built a bridge across the stream. So doing, the other brother saw the bridge. He came running across the field. He said, thank you for building that bridge. The brothers were reunited. The carpenter was asked to stay for supper. He said, no, I've got more bridges to build. Folks, no matter who's elected to whatever office, let's get behind them. Let's don't build a wall. Let's build a bridge and make Lincoln County great. Thank you.